add something on the NPA. The NPA situation is an important issue for the RBI in India. We will deal with the situation with firmness, but also with pragmatism, so that the economy does not feel any lack of credit to support the growth in the economy. But we must remember that this situation has not occurred overnight and therefore will require skill and thoughtful endeavor to resolve. There are 4 stages: the identification, the recording, and reporting of this particular subject has been done satisfactorily, but the resolution, which is the 4th leg, is something that we need to work more. In fact, back in 2007 and 2008, the banking sector lent their balance sheets to support the investments in infrastructure. Just 5 sectors contribute 61% of the stressed assets of the banking sector: infra, steel, textiles, power, and telecom. These sectors are each individually important, and dealing with stressed assets will require skill and creativity. There are many reasons that led to this situation, but now helping banks to deal with this situation is of the utmost importance for the country. We will move at various levels to address the situation, and we have indeed done so. We are working with the banks and the government on the subject. As you know, we have been at the forefront of improving creditor rights in India, and the bankruptcy bill is an example of this, but like all legislation, will take some time to settle. The RBI and government will work together to deal with some of the issues that emerge.
Next, I have noted down all the names, so I'll come to you one by one. Please bear with us. Govardhan.
Dr. Govardhan from the Economic Times. Dr. Patra mentioned about the real rate being kind of a flexible one, and you have forecast inflation at 4.5% 2017-18. Does that mean that you have a room to for another 50 to 75 basis points cut in the next few quarters ahead?
Yeah, please.
No, I mentioned 2016-17, and that the Q4 projection is 5%. So if you deduct 5% from 6.5%, which is the risk-free rate today, you're getting to 1.5%. But as I said, globally, there is a tendency of the real neutral rate to go down over time. And that is where it is today. So I would discount 1.5 by 25 basis points and say that 1.25 is the real neutral rate.
Okay, next.
Ira.
Governor, there's a fair amount of comfort on inflation in this fiscal year, but if you read through the monetary policy report, there seems to be far lesser comfort on getting inflation to that 4% level. In fact, at one point on page 8, where you talk about accounting for HRA increases as and when they happen, you actually say that this may require a tightening of monetary policy stance. Just wondering then, why at this stage are we moving towards even more accommodative policy, which is accommodative both on interest rates and on liquidity, when we seem to have a inherent discomfort on meeting our eventual targets, sir?
Well, as I said that after the amendments to the legislation and the associated notifications, the Act and the consequent 4 plus or minus 2 is what we have to endeavor for. In fact, if you read our March 2015 statement, that also makes that very clear. What we have identified are some upside risks, but there are downside risks also. If you see that range, when we talk about 4.5, it's very large. If I look at over the next 7-8 quarters, the government has introduced structural policy reform policies, which is of course done to ease supply constraints. There is larger investment in railways and roads, which will improve infrastructure. The ease of doing business. The proactive food management has played a crucial role in the past 2 years and will continue to play a crucial role in times to come. That there is an improvement in pulses supply, which has been the main contributor. And there has been a sharp improvement in competitiveness ranking. So while there are issues related to the upside risks, and we have always said that the direct impact of the HRA on the CPI will be looked through. So it's the highly uncertain indirect effects which we'll have to wait for in terms of both how the HRA is going to be implemented and then the consequences thereof. So it's in that backdrop where that risk has been identified. Indeed, there are some others also. Please.
Let others ask also.
This is the last question. We are at 3 p.m. Yeah.
Yes. Shobna?